Hi guys, Chris Turner here from Don't Mention the Reptilians. Sorry I haven't uploaded a blog recently with the holidays and everything else, and the weather has been poor. I tried to do something a bit different, get outdoors, but as I've mentioned here in Manchester, we don't really, I mean the weather's just shocking, it really is.
See, this is what I'm talking about. In Manchester, when you come out, this is what happens. It just rains.
But that aside, I've got some news on the release date. So the release date in the US is March of this year, so just a couple of months off now. And actually, that's probably worldwide. It's probably going live worldwide. However, there has been a change to the title. Now, many people may know that, or presumed that Don't Mention the Reptilians was a working title. It's interesting, when I emailed a lot of the people in the film, some of them did say, is that the title of the film, or is it the working title? But for those of you that are familiar with the Reptilian subject, everyone will know that Don't Mention the Reptilians is sort of a cross quote from David Icke's book The Biggest Secret and the famous Alex Collier interview, where he mentions the reptilians and the fact that nobody really likes to talk about them and the whole taboo surrounding that.
I knew immediately that this tall being was not a human.
The reptile race that we're talking about manipulates humanity and has done for thousands of years.
They are inhuman.
What she then saw was Heath shift into a reptilian form and grow about 2 feet. Who told me the same basic story, how they'd seen humans turn into a reptilian form and then back again.
And I had all these marks on my body and I couldn't quite make them out. None of them had any impression, they just completely smooth.
The system doesn't want to publicise them because they have signed an agreement not to publicise them.
This is not a dream, this is real.
So the new title, guys, though, is I've just been given this news, so it's sort of Alien Reptilian Legacy. Now that's a marketing decision. It's got absolutely a marketing stroke distribution decision. It's got nothing to do with me. We did have a few exchanged emails about this. I really didn't want to change that. I've done the whole. I really like the title, actually. I think it fits the film very well, but they want to call it Alien Reptilian Legacy. It's something to do with the distribution, marketing and streaming options. But however, here in the UK, I'm still keen to release that as Don't Mention the Reptilians. So yeah, you might say it's a very common thing, and this happens with a lot of movies. They are documentaries get different names depending on who's distributing it, and you know, fine. I'm not necessarily keen on the name or sort of the visuals that have been done in relation to mine, but you know, each to their own. Apparently the audience is a little bit different. I'm not necessarily familiar. Marketing and distribution isn't my thing. So there you have it. The release date is March. Sorry it's been so long. Again, this is sort of me keep apologising for that, but again, you know, it's been out of my hands for sort of a period of time. What I can say is that the second part now is well underway. A couple of interviews that are being done soon will be Eve Logan. I'm going to re-interview a couple of the guys as well, because the second film is about the origins of the reptilians, the various reptilians, the ancient galactic wars, and the Milab and relationship sort of interference there. Because that in itself is, as I said earlier in previous videos, that's a huge topic to cover, and it's a really important issue, particularly with the way events around the world are sort of working at the minute, and this whole thing about disclosure. That might not necessarily be what we expect. many would say that disclosure's already happened for those in the know and for those that are interested. So if you're not interested in this sort of stuff, why would you, disclosure is not really that important, I guess. One of the things that I'm also trying to do, and I've been looking at for the past couple of months, and I'm really going to spend some time trying to organise that now, is a UK conference purely on reptilians, REPCON. So this will be probably a one-day event initially because it's the first sort of event. I've never done a conference before. I know a lot of people that have. I'm an attendee and a fan of Probe. The Probe conference here in the UK, in the Northwest actually, it's in Lytham in the UK, and a lot of international speakers and the UFO community are familiar with Probe's conference. But I'm trying to get one purely on reptilians, at least the first one anyway. And I know a lot of people in the Northwest. I've been chatting on a few forums to guys that don't think there are enough conferences out there. I would agree that I don't think there's enough conferences here in the Northwest. However, we do have one of the best, which is, again, like I mentioned, Probe. And there's one in Leeds, which is quite a good one. I think it's the exopolitics one, which is quite a good one. So although I've never organised a conference, what I'm trying to do is speak to people that have. I'm sure there's a lot more to it than meets the eye, but as long as you can cover your costs, they're not on money. Again, much like the documentaries, they're not about making money. They're purely about getting people together and creating a community around the UFO, alien abductee experience, a reptilian subject. So that's basically what it's all about. So providing I can sort of cover the costs and because a lot of the costs will come from flying in an international speaker. I'm trying to get James Bartley here, and a lot of people have said they'd love to see James speak. There's quite a few of James's lectures online from America, but I don't think James has been here in the UK for a while. So I'm chatting to James about trying to get him over here, and I'm hoping that we can achieve that. Now, in terms of numbers, I don't know how many people would attend this conference, so that's another one of those things that I'll have to do a little bit of research on. I know a lot of people that do attend conferences, so I'm sure that we can fill the seats, absolutely, and particularly if we can get James. But until I can sort of do the groundwork, I can't confirm that. Again, sorry about that, but it's just one of those things. It's just something that I really, really wanted to do. And it's more exposure really for the reptilian subject for those that are not necessarily familiar with it. Now, I say reptilians, yes, primarily it'll be a one-day event on reptilians, but we will be discussing things in and around the subject, my lab, the archons, all those things. And I'm hoping that if the first event goes well, we'll sort of build on this, but it takes a bit of organising, so we'll see how that goes. Also, what I'm hoping to get up online this week is the Don't Mention the Reptilians website. That'll be don'tmentionthereptilians.com. It should go live sort of any time in the next few days. It's only in its infancy yet. It sort of covers the basics around the film primarily, but the overall goal for that website is to be sort of a really good resource for those trying to get into reptilian research. So there'll be a lot of links and a lot of references and reviews about books and documentaries, DVDs, lectures, and whether we'll get a forum going. I'd like to get a forum going because I'm on quite a few forums, but a lot of the research sort of gets into other areas that are not necessarily related, which sometimes is cool, but Don't Mention Reptilians will purely be a site for reptilian research. I'm very interested in David Paulides and all the Bigfoot stuff and the missing cases and all that stuff is cool and great, but I haven't really got the time to be doing anything. I really want to be someone that focuses on the reptilian research. Particularly here in the UK, I know that there are other guys out there doing it in different parts of the world, And also, if there's anyone watching this from the UK that is sort of keen and has been doing reptilian research for a long time, please get in touch with me. My email is here. So just drop me a line and we can converse, and maybe we can get our heads together. And you know, if any of you guys have got any ideas, something that you'd like to see on the website, cool. Just drop me a line. If there's something that you want to see on the website that isn't currently out there, if there's an area of research that you think we should sort of tackle and discuss, you know, by all means drop me a line. I'm always open to meeting and discussing and debating sort of areas. So that's it for today, guys. So hopefully I'll be up online soon with something else for you. Bye bye. So it's reptilian. It's the new title is Alien Reptilian Legacy. So the new title is The Legacy of... No, it's not. Who knew? I think. Is it?